This is the WUNDERBRUSH for gums, the first brush engineered to specifically target your gums because currently available brushes are inadequate for your gums. And an estimated 90% of adults and teenagers are suffering as a result because an estimated 90% of adults and teens have gum disease, either gingivitis, which is mild gum disease, or periodontitis, which is more advanced gum disease. And I am here to tell you that it's not your fault if you are in that 90% and if you have gingivitis or periodontitis. It's not your fault because the need to brush not only at, but under your gum lines, in the crevices between your gums and teeth, was determined 75 years ago. Yet nobody has developed a brush which is effective, efficient, and predictable in getting there until now. Manufacturers have been attempting to modify the toothbrush with all sorts of bells, whistles, and colors to include your gums, but it still remains a toothbrush, primarily for your teeth. Like they say, if it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And I say, if it looks like a toothbrush and it's for your teeth, it's probably a toothbrush and inadequate for the proper care and health of your gums. Why else would 90% of adults and teens have gum disease? Here's the issue. In order to prevent gum disease, you need to have a brush with bristles that can predictably reach and fit under your gum lines, 360 degrees around every tooth. And you have almost as much gum line on the tongue sides of your teeth as on the cheek sides, though slightly less because the tongue side is a slightly narrower arch. If I measure the outer gum line on this model of lower teeth, it's 4.5 inches. The inner gum line is slightly less, and the upper gum lines are slightly more, since your upper teeth are in a broader arch to bite outside of your lower teeth. So, if we use 4.5 inches as an average and multiply it by 4 to include the inner and outer gum lines around all of your upper and lower teeth, that's 18 inches. And if we add 6 inches for the areas in between all of your teeth, we're at 24 inches. That's 2 feet. Yes, 2 feet. 2 feet of gum line. That's likely longer than your arm. Would you ever dream of not washing your arm thoroughly on a regular basis? Yet that's what happens to our gum lines. They get neglected, and it leads to gum disease, bad breath, gum recession, tooth and implant loss, and is linked to many life-threatening and life-shortening diseases, including heart disease, cancers, Alzheimer's disease, and even increased severity of COVID-19 infection, as explained in this campaign's description. Now, this is called a periodontal probe. It's what your dentist uses to measure the depths of the crevices under your gums. And the crevices are rather tight. They're not really spaces, but rather potential spaces that something can be wedged into, which is why this probe is so thin. If it was thick like this pencil, there's no way it could fit into that crevice. So now I ask you, of these two brushes, which do you believe has bristles which are suitable to fit into those crevices under your gum lines to clean out those crevices? I think the answer is obvious. The brush with only one row of bristles. And even this one row has to be thinned to fit into the crevice by pressing it against your teeth while wiggling it towards and under your gums in a vibrating and massaging motion like this, which we call gum massage. The second reason why the WUNDERBRUSH for gums is more suitable for your gums than a toothbrush is that toothbrushes are configured like this, whereby the head is in line with the neck, or worse, the head is offset behind the neck. Why is that a problem? Well, it's because just under half of your gum lines are on the tongue sides of your teeth and are obstructed by your own teeth from being able to be accessed from the proper angle. That angle has been determined to be 45 degrees, like this. So, attempting to get just one row of bristles of a conventional toothbrush under your gum line at a 45-degree angle on the cheek side of your teeth would look like this. But trying to do that on the tongue side is entirely impossible because your own teeth are in the way of getting there. This is not rocket science, but it's actually more important than rocket science because 90% of the population is adversely affected by this simple concept, potentially both dentally and even worse medically because of all the life-threatening and life-shortening diseases that gum disease is linked to. And look at the backs of your front teeth too. A conventional brush can't even fit there. In theory, you're supposed to use this part of the brush to clean one of those teeth at a time. So, if you can afford to spend 10 minutes brushing your teeth, one tooth at a time, go for it. But that still doesn't get you here. Enter the WUNDERBRUSH for gums. It has an offset head in order to reach all gum lines by reaching over all teeth to access the tongue sides of all teeth. Only one row of bristles in order to fit under your gum lines. Only 5 tufts of bristles so it even fits perfectly behind your front teeth. Bristles offset at 45 degrees to the sides of the handle to guide them to and under your gum lines when the handle is held straight. A hollow handle for plastic reduction and to reduce plastic pollution. And vents in the handle for airflow since the handle is hollow. Now, you're probably wondering, do I need to now use 2 brushes for my oral hygiene? And the answer is no, but it would be faster if you did. Think of it this way. When you paint, you often use a brush and a roller, right? And when you vacuum, you typically use a floor tool and a crevice tool, right? Well, the paintbrush could be used for all painting, and the crevice tool could be used for all vacuuming, but both procedures would be quicker if you also used the roller and the floor tool respectively, right? But of course, the roller is unsuitable for woodwork and trim, and the floor tool is unsuitable for crevices. And by the same token, the toothbrush is unsuitable and inadequate for reaching to and under all gum lines to properly clean at and under your gums. It's like trying to use a roller or a floor tool when painting or vacuuming in corners. They just don't fit. So, use the WUNDERBRUSH for gums for your gums and a toothbrush for your teeth. I hope you've found this demonstration helpful. Please consider supporting this campaign and telling your loved ones and friends about the WUNDERBRUSH for gums. And I thank you for watching.